And get started. And it is my honor and privilege to introduce Marina Alex to the group. Marina's going to share her story and approach to riding the storm and show you how to see your blue ocean. Talk about how all you've learned and practiced in Agile is immensely available. So talk about how to broaden your horizons, walk your talk, and be able to be agile with the application of your knowledge and experience, especially in relation to small businesses. So she's going to talk about how to recognize your value, how to adapt and pivot, recognize new possibilities, and how to get excited about what's going on. She's been an Agile coach for 10 or more years as an Agile coach outside of IT, hands-on experience across 34 countries and 21 or 34 industries in 21 countries. I've had the privilege of getting coached from her directly, and it's been incredible, really helpful to me. Very much appreciative of it. I remember actually meeting Marina at an Agile conference years ago. I don't know if you remember that or not, but we sat next to each other. I think it was an Agile 2023 or something that you went to, or 2022. But anyway, yeah, so I've known her since then. Anyway, just got some very valuable information and things to talk to you about. So I'm going to be quiet now and let Marina speak.
Hey, everybody, I try to get your answers. Before we'll start, let me tell you a story about my experience because I see a lot of new faces and maybe not all of you know about my experience. Last 12 years, I have been working as an agile coach, but outside of IT. I've never worked with IT teams. Like maybe I run only one workshop in my life for developers and business together. But my specialization was agile coach outside of IT. And I was an expert agile in sales. And I was very happy about this position because I was almost one in the world. I had a lot of clients. I was happy. I had a great income and I moved to the United States because one company invited me to Tennessee, TV company, to help them with agile transformation in sales. It was $200,000 contract. I was happy. And when we finished this contract, I couldn't find a job as an agile coach. Not exactly job, like as a client, right? Because I've never worked as a full-time agile coach. I always worked independent agile coach. Anyway, almost 2 years, I couldn't find clients. And I thought something wrong with me, like something happened with me, right? And the problem was that I didn't want to give up. And almost 2 years, I think it was 2021, 22, I was fighting and tried to find clients, and I spent all my money, savings. I sold stocks, and when I didn't have any money, like $46 in my bank account, I realized that I need to change something. I need to adapt. I need to do something differently, right? And everybody suggested me, Marina, you're a great marketer, you're great sales, because I was executive in sales before I became an agile coach. Just go and find a job. And I was like, job? But my heart to help people. I'm a great coach. I want to do what I love. I love to work with teams, right? I don't want to be an executive again, right? And I decided, okay, I need to do something. And I discovered the blue ocean, which I'm going to share with you because I do believe there are a lot of opportunities for agile coaches because I start helping small and medium organizations, local businesses, help them with agile implementation without calling it agile. And guys, today, for example, I'm in one business conference, right? And I'm only one coach there and only C-level, like CEOs, founders around me. And I have four very good potential leads, potential clients right now because they really want to hire me. And I realized that for last 6 months, I have more clients than I had when I was just regular agile coach for sales, right? And my goal today to share this abundance with you and support you and say, hey, stop crying, stop thinking about to be a project manager, continue to do what you love, and I will share how to find clients outside of IT. This is my goal for today to share practical steps which helped me. But before I will share, I would love to ask your opinion about one question. Okay, let me share my screen. Let me see. And I would love to have like dialogue. If you decided to, Marina, I have a question, just say, Marina, I have a question because I don't want to have as a presentation. I want to have as a conversation. Okay. And let me, I hope you will see my question and you can answer in Zoom, right? If you have any problems, let me know. But what are the top three reasons do you think that agile coaches are struggling with income in 2025? Why it's happening with us? Please share your three reasons. Appointment. Which one? Agile coaches disappointed or um, managers are disappointed? What is three reasons why we have troubles with income? Yeah, Matt. You can use just menti.com. You don't need to answer in chat. In this case, we'll see everything on one screen. It's a new technologies. We have six responses. Misunderstanding, full-time job, fear. Wow, guys, you have completely different answers that I had before in any Agile meetups. You're very unique. Massive layoffs in tech. Lack of awareness. Probably what we're doing as Agile coaches, right? And why our salaries were so big. Economic downturn. What else? Let's share.
We had some people enter stuff in the chat too, Marina. Overlapping Scrum Masters or overlapping responsibilities of Scrum Masters and
Mm-hmm.
failure to understand that change is difficult were two that we saw there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Perfect. Okay. Sounds good. Did you all of you answer? Did you answer right? Mm-hmm. I will stop sharing and um my opinion is what's happening right now with our industry, because I think it's important to understand from business perspective. Because again, I'm from business side, right? I worked all my life in business. I speak in business language. I understand businesses, right? And what's happened that they didn't understand, like you mentioned today, value of agile coaches and scrum masters because scrum masters and agile coaches they didn't communicate with business very much, right? Or maybe some of them they tried but they didn't speak in business language, and business language is numbers. That's why the first note you can create or main takeaway from this session today, if you really want to be in demand, measure your results or your impact as an agile coach or scrum master in revenue or profit growth. If you're not going to do that, you will be laid off because business doesn't understand your value, right? Because in business language, if you're doing something valuable, we can measure it in numbers. That's why profit and revenue are important. And even if you're working with not sales teams, right? It's easy to measure. We're not going to talk about that exactly how to measure, but it's easy to measure, right? The second thing is, I think what's happened, again, it's based on my research for last 3 years almost, right? Because I was wondering what's happening, right? I took a lot of interviews from business side, from Agile coaches. The second thing is that, guys, Agile was created 20 years ago. Scrum was created 30 years ago, right? And IT part of organizations, they're pretty good and agile, okay? Outside of IT, nobody know about agile, and this is the problem as well, right? But I think it's again my opinion based on my research that it's just in IT and software developers, whatever, they familiar with Agile, right? Maybe they had terrible experience and they don't believe in Agile at all. And some of them decided to use waterfall, that is a disaster, right? Because they had a Scrum Master after 2 days of workshop who decided to be an Agile coach. And it was terrible experience. And after that, many organizations, they just don't believe that it will work, right? The lucky organizations where it was great job from agile implementation, they're very good in that. They have their own agile coaches, they're good, they don't need it anymore, right? But the second thing which I would love you to remember today after the session, guys, IT, it's a red ocean right now. Outside of IT, people don't know that we exist. They don't know what is Agile and how we can help them. It's a huge blue ocean. There are millions of organizations which they need our help with helping them adapt for new reality. Because traditional management doesn't work. They need alternative, but they don't know that Agile can be used outside of IT, right? And to come back to my experience, and after that, I will share my experience step by step, like what exactly I'm doing, how I'm making money, what exactly my day look like, right? And after that, I will be open for any questions because I want to have a dialogue, okay? And again, I'm unusual agile coach. I came from sales. That's why it's easy for me to talk about money and to talk about business, right? Because it's my world. Okay, to come back to my story, when I couldn't find a job, right? I told myself, like, Marina, what do you really love? Because I do believe that money are where our passion, right? And my passion to help people and my passion to work with the teams. This is why I decided to be an agile coach 12 years ago, right? And first time I came to local hotel and I start talking with general manager and ask, hey, what is your top three problems? And she told me about their problems. And I told her, hey, I can help you. I'm a business consultant. I can help you. And she asked me, really? Yeah, for 5 weeks, I can solve those problems. And she told me, how much is it? And I told her $5,000 because I needed $5,000 to pay for my rent, my insurance, and all this stuff. And it's exactly what I needed, right? And she told me, yeah, okay. And like, okay. And she, yeah, okay, we'll send you money tomorrow, right? And we start working together. And for 5 weeks, I helped them. Again, I adapt Scrum. I call it Sway system, right? In your language, it's Scrum. Basically, for 5 weeks, I helped them implement Scrum in the hotel and create cross-functional teams, 1 week sprints, Kanban boards, planning session, retrospectives, demo, and they were so happy because we broken silos, we increase engagement of people, right? We achieve our revenue goals. And they told me, Marina, wow, this is exactly what we need, right? And now they use Kanban boards in each department. Housekeepers, they're working in Kanban boards every single day, right? And I thought, wow, this is cool. This is what if I go to my dentist because I have my braces, right? And I came to my dentist and she had and still has two dentist clinics, right? And asked, hey, what is your problems? And she told me about her problems. And I told her, hey, I can solve it, right? For $10,000. And she told me, okay, right? And after that, I start to serve local businesses and helping them with agility without calling it agile coach or whatever, right? I told you this story in a very easy way, right? But the it wasn't easy in the beginning because I had to learn how to explain what I do without calling Agile, Scrum, and other words which I used to tell everybody, right? And it was a challenge to explain them in their language, in very simple language, how I'm helping them, right? But when I learned how to do it, I have a lot of clients right now, guys. Really, I'm not sure. I'm going to scale and find someone who will help me because I have a lot of clients right now. I've never had such big domain, right? Why it's happening? For sure, because I'm solving problems which agile, I would say business agility is helping solve problems, right? But one more thing is that I learned a lot about AI. I'm very good in AI right now, right? Not in AI in as a developers, AI from business side, right? I know how implement AI in each department. I'm very good in that, right? I invest every single day 2 hours to learn about AI. That's why, for example, today I was talking with in this conference with some C-level guys, and hey, what is your problems with AI? And they told me about their problems, and I told them, guys, I can help you. I'm good in that, right? And I explained them, and they told Marina, please call me. And I was standing, and they asked my business cards, and they, Marina, we need you, right? And several weeks ago, I took an interview from Jeff Sutherland, and he was very clear about his position about that agile coaches, we have to know AI, right? And not just from developers side, really understand AI, right? Because what we're doing well, we're helping companies with transformation, right? And they need us right now, but we need to understand how to help them to transform their organization with AI implementation, right? That's why one more thing, if you really want to make a lot of money, or not a lot of money, like great money, right, and be above of the market, it doesn't matter. Are you going to be like me and work for yourself, or maybe you're going to find a job? You have to understand AI. Without AI, it will be difficult, right? And I see many agile coaches who decided to be project managers. It's my personal opinion. I think it's step back, not step forward, right? Because soon we'll have a lot of project managers and they will be lay off, right? Because they will not understand in AI, right? That's why if you really want to be in demand, be like me and invest every single day at least 1 hour and learn about AI, right? In this case, you will be in demand. Last week, I had a presentation in local. I decided to create an AI meetup in my location, Knoxville, Tennessee. It's a very small town, right? And I decided, okay, I'm going to create a meetup because 12 years ago, I created meetups for Agile, business agility, right? I'll do the same about AI. And I had people and I taught them how to create prompts for ChatGPT, how to use AI in sales and marketing and call centers, right? And they came to me and they gave me their business cards and they told me, Marina, we need you. We need your help. We have no idea how to implement AI. We have a lot of problems with silos in our organization. We have no, lack of communication, lack of collaboration. We're tired. Something doesn't work anymore. We need you, right? And this is how I'm making money right now. And I think one more thing which I would love you to remember today. Sorry for my pushing, it's my style. I'm a tough coach, right? Um, we have to stop sell Agile and Scrum and Kanban or Safe, DevOps, whatever. We have to focus on problems which we're solving for organizations. And when you be a coach who will help organizations to solve their problems, they will pay money for that. What I see right now in the market that we have a lot of debates, what is better, Scrum or Kanban, right? And we have a goal, many of Agile coaches, we have a goal, implement Scrum. It's not the goal, okay? And it's not the goal to implement Agile as well, right? The goal to help the organization. And for that, we have to understand their problems and help them to solve those problems. Guys, I will tell you because I communicate with business every single day. They have problem with AI right now. They have problem with silos. They have problems with adaptation for new reality. They have problem with people because they have 5 generations, 4 generations in one team, 5 different countries, 4 different time zones. They have no idea how to manage those people remotely. They need you, right? But you need to explain them in very simple business language who you are and what you do. This is my small experience, and I'm here to have dialogue and answer for questions and really discuss because I'm here for you. And I have a lot of experience, a lot of great stories, right? But I want to deliver what you really want to hear. Okay. Any questions? Any ideas?
I have one.
Yeah, go ahead, Trish.
I just posted in here that I'm not using my, I'm not calling myself an agile coach anymore because I don't think, especially in the small business world, they don't understand it, right?
Yep.
Large organizations understand it, but I don't think they really fully understand the role. I saw a posting to the reason why I saw a posting today for an agile coach role, agile coach 4. I don't even know what that means. Is 4 high? Is it low? Is it 4 out of 10? Are there 10? So someone said that it's a pay scale for consultants. And I went, oh, dear Lord. So see what I mean? So I'm not even touching that anymore. I might just call I haven't really decided what I'll be yet. But so that's all I'm thinking of. And just bringing it, I think of just a normal, easy to understand title, especially going up to small business, to me would be much more effective.
Trish, 100% I'm with you. I call myself I call myself AI and modern management expert. This is my title. I created this title for myself because AI is in demand, and I'm very good in that, to be honest, really. Right?
Okay. That's a good, I like that. I'll look up, I don't know what modern management means, but I'll have to look
Yeah,
that up.
but management, again, modern, it's something new because I try to explain that I'm doing something new, not traditional
Oh,
waterfall.
oh, good.
Management, it's their language. They used to, they
Yep,
love management. That's
yep,
why I try to speak in their language, but explain,
yep.
hey, something new here.
Oh, very good. I like that. Okay. That's really cool. I like
And
it.
Trish, they a business, they don't understand coach very much, right? For
Yeah,
them, it's like, is it a football coach, right? That's why I
yep,
call myself consultant or expert, usually expert, because I want to show them that I'm like a doctor, guys, right? I'm very good doctor. You're
yeah.
safe. I can help you, right? Tell me about your problems. And I did so many surgeries before. You'll be fine with me. Trust me, right? That's why I call
That's
myself
good. Because I don't even like consulting because everybody's a consultant. So
consulting.
I
Yeah,
like what you've got there. Like some, that's really interesting.
yeah,
That's good.
yeah, yeah.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What else? Talk with me, guys. I want to
And,
understand what you feel about my story. Maybe you think, oh, Marina, it's a bullshit. Sorry.
yeah, just in terms of AI and learning more about AI, I mean, like aside from, getting really good at prompting, what other things should we be learning?
It's a good question. First of all, prompting because a business they don't understand how to create good prompts. That's why it's in demand right now, right? I really teach them how to do it. But then, okay, which AI do we have on the market? Which AI solve which problems, right? Okay, for example, now I'm helping one organization to implement AI for call center because we want to answer 24 hours using AI for questions from our customers, right? And when I understand problem, I'm looking for solution. I found simply AI. Okay, I found at least 20 different AIs. I tested all of them, all like 8 hours, was sitting and just playing with AI and listening and call them. It was a lot of time, right? But then I found the good one, simple AI, because they're young as organization, but voice is very real. Like, and I help implement this AI to my client, and they pay for that, right? My point is that there are so many AI solutions we need to understand in those solutions, but the most important, understand business problems, right? Like exactly, for example, marketing team, right? Which tasks do they have repeatedly, like every time the same task? Create videos, for example. Okay, let's find AI which will help them with videos, right? For example, me, just for fun, I'm playing with creating avatar for myself. It's so real, guys. If I show you, you will see that it's real Marina, but this avatar speaks in 20 languages and fluently, right? It's the same Marina. She will speak about her sway system, right, in 20 different languages. Is it amazing? And I'm playing with this toy and I'm learning. But when I receive any request for creating avatar for some, I don't know, some companies, I will tell them, oh, I know how to do it. I will help you. Did I answer?
Yeah, that's helpful.
Thank you.
Guys, Suruchi raised her hand, so Suruchi, maybe you can go ahead and
Yeah.
yeah.
Quick question, Marina. I mean, I have actually double layer question. First question is, thank you for sharing your story, success story, that you are approaching to businesses pretty directly and asking their problems. My first question is, what is the reason they share their problems with you? What is something that you do because of which they are ready to open up?
A good question. I will tell you that imagine now, right? I go to different business events, and every time when I'm drinking coffee with someone, I say, hey, I don't know, Glenn, nice to meet you. Oh, by the way, I'm doing a research about business problems. Would you please share your top three problems? Right? You can tell that you're doing research or you're writing an article, or you can be open and say, hey, I'm just curious, like, hey, what kind of business do you have? A restaurant or biotech, whatever. Oh, wow, this is very interesting. Would you please tell me what is your main three challenges for last 12 months? They never tell me no, never, because people love talking about their problems. And nobody asks them about their problems every day. When somebody asks you, hey, John, how are you? What is your top three problems in life? How often we have this question? Very seldom, right? That's why they're usually very easy to answer for this question. But again, guys, you have to go outside of your comfortable zone, right? Many of you, you don't have you didn't need it, to be honest, to develop your skills in marketing and sales, right? But now we have to do it, right? And how we've met with Ken. He came to my program. I'm teaching agile coaches, right? Marketing and sales, right? And many agile coaches, they come to me and they show me their LinkedIn, and it's like the ocean or Star Wars words, like I don't know, some pictures with huge fish in the LinkedIn. LinkedIn, it's your basically website. If I Google your name, guys, I will see your LinkedIn first on the Google page, right? And if it's a guy with a huge fish, like, oh, he's a fisherman probably, right? Or in other stuff when you have all your certificates, CPC, a lot of what is that, right? What is nobody understand, right? That's why sorry for my long answer, but I forgot to tell you that marketing is important. Sales is important as well. That's why you have to be a little extrovert, right? And go and say, hey, what is your problems? Hey, by the way, I'm a modern management expert. I'm helping companies. And this is what I'm doing last 20 years. I worked with big tech companies, and now I'm helping with the best business practice to small and medium organizations, right? And you're talking with them and you're selling your expertise.
Sounds good. Thank you. And the second question is, would you like to share any of your failed attempt of persuading any client at the initial stage when you are in the business?
Say it again, please. I didn't get it.
Would you like to share any failed attempt, like you asked them their challenges, you got the answer that okay, these are my challenges, but the thing is, if person is sharing that challenge with you, does not mean that you got the contract, right? The point is how you are going to gain the trust in overcoming that challenge. Why would they pay you? I mean, they can just wait in front of you and went in front of you and say, oh, these are my problems, and they may go away.
Yeah.
That does not guarantee. My question is, would you like to share any challenging situations or the situation where you failed in gaining the contract, and how did you overcome that failure and still
Yeah,
continue your path.
yeah. Guys, sales, it's a sales funnel, right? You will have 100 conversations and you will sell two projects, for example, right? It's a funnel, right? That's why in my case, for sure, I don't call it fail because in sales we don't I came from sales world, right? We don't call it sales. We call it funnel, okay? I have 10 conversations, I will close one deal. It's normal, right? I know that. That's why I need to have 20 conversations to have two deals, right? That's why it's a sales system, right? I'm selling. I know exactly my sales pitch. I know exactly my sales funnel. I know exactly step by step how often I need to touch them. Because if I talk with them first time, I don't know, in a business conference, hey, what is your challenges? It doesn't mean that they even want to talk with me after that, right? Like, okay, I told her about my challenges, right? But next step, how to have the second conversation, right? And ask more questions and build this trust and explain like, hey, I'm very good in that. I can help really. Let me help you, right? I helped five companies before and they had exactly the same challenge. And again, I'm talking about sales approach. You need to learn how to sell, even if you're going to sell yourself in a full-time job for the good price, you're still selling, right? You can negotiate about your contract, right? As a full-time job as well. You need to learn how to sell. And I learned it's not easy, guys. Again, before I became an agile coach, I was selling insurance. I was executive. I was brilliant, successful. But when I decided to be a business consultant, agile coach 12 years ago, I failed. I couldn't sell myself at all because I can tell you about insurance, about glasses, about everything. But to talk about myself, it was so difficult, right? And I learned through millions of mistakes how to explain and sell my service and feel okay in this process, right? It's a sales. But again, if
Thank
you,
you.
yeah, to make your life easier, right? When you ask about challenges, just listen, right? Many agile coaches, because I'm helping agile coaches right now, right? A lot. And one of their mistake when they love people so much, they want to help everybody and they find someone and just take it. Hey, I will help you. I will tell you about Agile. I will tell you about Scrum. You have to do XYZ. And everybody, oh, whoa, 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 wow. I see you first time and it's like first date and you want to marry with me. Like, I'm not ready for that yet, right? I want to know who you are. It's exactly the same like dating. Nothing different, right? That's why listen, hear them, really deeply understand their problems, and explain in business language, not agile language, how you're going to help them to solve those problems and why they need to trust you. Do you know why they should trust you guys? I will tell you why. Please write in our chat how many years you have been working as a Scrum Master or Agile coach. How many years? What is your experience? 8. Okay, what else? 12, 8, 15, 10, 10, 1, 6. This is why. 8, this is why they have to trust you because you have experience. You're good in that, what you're doing. You've done it for IT teams, and now you're going to adapt for reality and work with the not IT teams. But look at you. You have to believe in you because they need your knowledge. And I'll explain you why they need your knowledge, okay? This like one of million of your value, right? Because it's our topic today, your value for business. For example, one of the biggest problems in business that founders or C-level, they are in the business, not on the business. They're in operation. They control everybody. They spend 8 hours per day on meetings to try to figure out what's happening, right? They are in the business, right? And they have a dream to be out on the business and be in strategy level and really think by brain and help the company to see new ideas new strategies, right? But they can't because they always managing like put this like fireplaces, like people, like every time they're very busy. And what we can do for them, and they don't know about that, cross-functional self-organizing teams, which will work together, and you don't need to manage them, right? They will demonstrate their results. They will have fun working with each other. And managers or C-level or founders, they will have time to be strategy leaders, not managers and command and control freaks. Sorry for my English, right? That's why it's the simple way to help them. And who are the best people in this planet who understand how to create cross-functional self-organizing teams? Agile coaches, not project managers exactly, not traditional consultants, because they have no clue how to create cross-functional teams, because they still believe in waterfall model, departments, individual KPIs, and other stuff, right? That's why Agile coaches, we have everything right now to help this world. The problem is they just don't know that we exist. This is the problem. Anything? Any ideas? Any comments? Talk with me, please.
So I'm just wanted to ask, your presentation tonight, you're obviously targeted toward Agile coaches, but do you implement Agile methodologies in your practices, or does it depend on the problems that the customer brings to you?
I implement Agile every single day for my clients, right? I adapt Scrum. I adapt Agile, right? I call it business agility, basically, right? But it's exactly, I do it every single day with my clients. I'm helping with the Kanban boards implementation, for example, or um, other stuff, right? Yeah. Did I answer? Hmm?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. For example, create 1 week sprints. It's something new for 99% of my clients, right? To have retrospectives, 100% new information. And they love it, right? Because they didn't know that it's possible to have retrospective in the end of the week and just talk through all stuff and create ideas what we're going to improve next week, right? And put those ideas in the Kanban board. Guys, for us, it's very basic level what we can do, but for them, it's innovations, really. I have one organization. We have 9 teams right now, cross-functional teams, right? We create 9 cross-functional teams. And I'm teaching them how to use Kanban software because they've never had it before. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Guys, I see Oriental has raised hand. Go ahead, Oriental.
So I just wanted to ask how you set expectations. One of the things I said earlier was, people struggle with the fact that change is hard. And in my experience, even with larger, in larger companies, especially when you explain all of these tools, you do the meetings and so on and so forth, all the ceremonies, there's some pushback because it's like, well, we have to change the way we're doing it. It's, oh my God, change is scary, change is difficult. And I always try to set expectations myself. I'm like, this will be difficult because it's important to let people know up front. But for a lot of small and medium organizations where they have to turn on a dime, how do you sell that to them? How do you set those expectations? Because it's a little different from an larger organization where you're turning the
Yeah.
battleship as opposed to
Yeah.
turning the speedboat.
Great question. Because it's a huge difference when you implement business agility in small organization or big organization. Why? Because when you work with small organization, you have 50 people. You work with everyone in this organization, with founder, with the general manager, with the housekeeper, with everyone. You're changing everything at the same time, right? And usually they're so how to say alive. They love they don't love changes very much, but they're so adaptable for changes because they're a small organization, right? And they do it together. And the most important, that a leader of this organization, he or she will do it with you and run as an example, and everybody will repeat, right? For example, I have a case study where it's a biotech company, about 45 people, right? And we start implement Kanban boards. And everybody were like, oh, we don't want it. We don't like it, blah, blah, blah. And the founder, I helped him, created Kanban board where he put all his stuff, like even walk with his dog and everything. And he showed this board to his organization and say, hey, I use it. If I use it, you should use it, right? And everybody, oh, wow, okay. Wow, this is cool. He's walking with his dog because every time he has a car to walk with his dog, right? He has something else. And they change much faster, guys, than big organization because first of all, they value your advices and they really implement what you are talking about. Because in big organization, oh yeah, it's a great idea. We will think about that. And after 6 months, nothing happened, right? Did you have this experience in big organizations? You give them advices and they don't do anything.
Yes, on a regular basis.
Yeah, exactly. But here, they really, they do everything what you tell them. Kanban boards, okay, retrospective, okay, change motivation, okay, right? And it's so quick and they see results and you see results. Why I have a lot of energy right now, right? Because I see results of all of them very quickly, right? And we measure in revenue, right? And it's amazing. Like they grow up for 20% and they're happy. I'm happy as well, right? That's why but again, people don't like changes. But we have a privilege because the leader of organization, if he or she told you that they will do it, it means that he has or she has commitment with you, right? And you have agile transformation basically from top and down at the same time. Did I answer?
Yes, you did. You hit everything on the head. Thank you.
Okay,
Appreciate it.
perfect. Okay, thank you. Okay.
So Ruchi, I see your raised hand. Go ahead, please.
Yes. So the other question is, Marina, you mentioned that you are implementing Agile Scrum every day without actually calling that Agile. So if you go to any business, you might be looking at it as a team or looking at it as a group of people. So do you actually form the teams from group of different people? Because there is a difference. They might be doing multiple different things at a time. Do you actually try to put the hat of product owner, or do you wear that hat? How do you identify, oh, these people will act as a developer or will be active actors? Can you talk a little bit about how do you form the teams without letting them know, because you are not telling that you are actually implementing agile, right? So what is the strategy that you apply subtly without letting them know and apply it? And specifically when it is non-IT,
Yeah.
it is required for not making them confused. You want to be very subtle, otherwise they get confused because of terminologies. They ask multiple times why, and they get repelled easily. So
Yeah.
can you share some example? How do you form the teams? How do you coach them without letting them know and then get effectiveness out of them?
Mhm. I always create teams all the time because I do believe that cross-functional teams is the best thing ever, which can happen with any businesses. Compare silos, departments, and all this stuff, right? That's why I always explain the first thing. Okay, let me give you a metaphor because again, I adapt Scrum, right? I have this way system, and I'll explain very quickly. Imagine I'm sitting on the chair, and all of you're sitting on the chair, right? And usually chair, not office chair, but regular chair has four legs, right? This is why I'm stable right now. I have a chair with four legs, right? And I explain to my clients like, hey, if you want to have a stable business in this crazy market, you will need to be like a chair. And I share this metaphor, right? You need to have four legs for stability. The first one is culture. You have to have very strong culture. Without that, business never be stable. The second leg is structure. You have to be flat. You don't need to have 25 managers, middlemen in your organization anymore, right? You have to change your structure, right? And here I explain about creating cross-functional teams. The leg number three, it's about processes. You have to have different efficient processes, right? Basically, it's Kanban boards and all this stuff, right? And number four, technologies and AI. Without that, you're not going to survive, right? And when I explain about four legs, I explain and who, okay, now you have this table chair, right? And you need to put customer on on this chair and put customer first. And in this case, customer will feel very comfortable in this chair, right? And you'll have business forever, right? This is how I explain. And when I explain about one of these legs, I explain about cross-functional teams. I help them create those cross-functional teams based on their goals, right? Because we don't have a product, right? In business, we have goals, and usually it's revenue goals. And we create those teams based on what kind of business is it, right? Sometimes it's restaurant, and we create cross-functional teams based on their schedule, right? Because we need to have the same team, the same days, right? And it's important for us. In regular business, it's much easier, right? You create cross-functional teams which have the same goals, right? That's why we always start with goals, and after that, we help them. I help them create cross-functional teams, and this is first step which I'm doing. And after that, I'm helping to create a schedule for planning session, demo, daily, retrospective, and all the creative boards. Right, everything's simple here. But yes, every single time. For example, in C-level, right? When I have a team of executives, I always create cross-functional team. I always say, hey, I don't care how you call yourself. Since Monday, we're going to be a team, cross-functional team. In our team, we have common goals, right? Usually it's profit goals, revenue goals, new customer goals, right? And it doesn't matter that we have executive in sales and executive in operation. All of them are responsible as a team to achieve those goals, right? And we use 1 week sprint and all this stuff. But for sure, I'm helping to change motivation and create team KPIs, because I don't believe in individual KPIs at all. I came from sales. In sales, we always had individual KPIs, and we were going to kill each other for the client, right? And it was terrible experience, right? I'm helping to change KPIs and create cross-functional teams as well. It was my long answer.
Guys,
Thank you.
I see a question in the chat by Anthony. And Anthony, I can either read your question, or maybe you can go ahead and read it yourself. Would you mind, Anthony? Or I can read it for you. You're saying, since even the best salespeople don't win every customer, what is something you learned from sales opportunity with an SMB that you didn't close? That was the question.
I didn't close when I was too pushy. I didn't close when I didn't respect that business. It's like a baby for them. And I was very, how to say, like, hey, you need to change XYZ, right? And like, hey, it's my baby. It's perfect. I'm not ready for that, right? It was a mistake. One mistake was when one founder, he was going to travel 6 months, and basically I came to him and say, hey, let's create a transformation while you're traveling. And he told me, what? Are you kidding me? Like, why I should travel and somebody will change my organization, right? It was a mistake. I think, as a summary, my mistakes were when I was too pushy as a salesperson, right? Because for what I learned for last 12 years, that it's I don't believe that Agile it's possible to sell Agile. People really want to change something, right? It's like, imagine I love steaks very much. I love beef. Sorry for if you don't, right? And suddenly you will knock to my door and say, Marina, it's so wonderful to be a vegan. You will have potato. You will have, I don't know, cucumbers and like, hey, I love beef. It doesn't matter, right? And maybe if you're a great salesperson, I will try to be vegan for a while. But if it wasn't my request from the beginning, I will give up. I will eat my steak when nobody see, right? And I think it's the same metaphor with businesses, right? They want to change. They need really want to change something, and you came to them and say, "Hey, I have a solution how to do it. You have problems. I know how to solve it." Right? You're not selling exactly. It's a sales process anyway, right? You don't sell. You help them recognize that you have solution for their problems and you can help them.
Anthony, do you have any follow-up thoughts on this?
I don't. That was well answered. Thank you.
Okay, perfect.
Sure.
Any questions? Any comments? How do you feel? Just tell me something.
I guess the idea that everyone has to be kind of a salesperson, similar to what you are describing, it might be a little bit alien to most of the people here. But I personally like the idea of a sales funnel, and especially your approach at, hey, nothing is a failure. Everything is just a matter of sales funnel.
Yeah.
Whether the funnel actually brings any of the any of the deals, whether any of the deals actually close, that is another question, right? If you do something and you see consistently there are no closures, no deals are getting closed, then it might be a matter of revisiting your approaches. But the whole perspective of looking at deals that are lost as just, okay, they didn't make it to the next stage in the pipeline. That's normal. I think everyone really likes this idea because it is a very positive type of thinking.
Yeah.
What do you think, guys? If you have
Absolutely.
to mark one thing that you really liked out of the discussion today, one interesting idea to me, that is one idea that I really like, that nothing is there is no rejection. Nothing is lost. It is just a matter of a funnel. It's not nothing is lost, but nothing is a failure. It's just a matter of a funnel. What do you
Yeah.
guys think?
Yeah, Marina, actually, I do have one question for you. Working with SMB, SME clients, what do you find is the average time from entering your funnel to close?
In average 3 months.
3 months?
3 months. In average 3 months. I had 2 weeks as well, right? But if I will take all my experience for last 12 months, I would say 3 months, 2 or 3 months maximum.
Okay.
John,
And do you have a specific vertical that you've been targeting, or are you kind of ambiguous as far as?
My target audience is companies with maximum 200 employees
Okay.
and revenue at least $1 million, like usually $10 million per year, right? 5 or 10, this is ideal for me. I have several clients, they have $1 million per year right now, right? But they're going to scale, they're going to grow. But I don't have any clients less than $1 million per year because, first of all, they don't have money to pay. Again, I charge $15,000 for 5 weeks right now, right? I charge 5,000, as I mentioned before, for 5 weeks now. 5 weeks implementation where I really can help them a lot, right? To implement the system, I charge 15,000 and I invest about 8 hours per week to work with them, right? And for them, 15,000, it's not big deal if they make $5 or $10 million per year.
But I'm
Okay.
sure
Yep, and
you
Madeline,
also sorry guys, I see
okay.
that some
John
of
has
you
his hand up
raised your
next. Yeah.
hands. Yeah, but I just wanted to maybe finish the thought here. I'm sure as a salesperson with an experience of a salesperson, one of the important things you tell them in the beginning during your sales period, you're making it clear what the outcome is going to be like. It's not like, hey guys, I'm going to work for you, but this is what you are going to have as a result. This is, I'm sure you are making clear with them, right?
Natalie, you nailed it. Because again, if they pay me 15,000, I will make them at least 100,000. It's my personal commitment with myself, at least, right? But usually it's millions of dollars, right? One time I made extra $20 million for one organization, right? And but I always say this thing because I don't know, I can't tell them exactly how much money I will make them. I will help them to make, right? I will tell them in average that I usually it's 20%. I can increase revenue, help them increase revenue for 20% per year, right? But when I see data and I jump in data, this is where after you will fall in love with AI and sales, next you will need to fall in love with business data because based on this data you can understand and tell them, you know what, I think based on your data and my knowledge, we can help you to increase sales for 30%, for example, right? Guys, I double sales many times, but I've never tell anybody about that. I don't want to over promising anything, right? But I would love to see their faces when I help them double their revenue, right? But usually I always, as you mentioned, Natalie, I always say, hey, you invest 15,000, right? But you will return those investments very quickly, right? And
And,
it's
and I'm sure
And
you
John,
also have
this
some business cases to show them with your
yeah,
previous
yeah,
projects, right?
yeah. And again, I always say to our agile coaches, like, guys, next 2 years, you will work for your name, right? And you will knock to the door and send in LinkedIn invitations and be very active, like I'm active, right? But then your name will work for you and people will just tell your name. For example, now if you want to call any of my clients, they will tell you, Marina, it was the best thing which happened with me. And your references, their feedback about you will help you to sell your service better than anything else. And John, you had
John is
your
next. Yeah, John's next. Go ahead, John.
John. He has a patient.
Thank you.
Hey guys. So what I have to share is I started having this conversation about 5 years ago, and it led to a conversation I actually had at the Business Agility Conference with Marina here, and I invited her to my sales circle at the end of 23. One of the things that I discovered is that there is a conundrum that exists that is really kind of a part of the glut that exists in this current space. The reason that what's happened is, everyone has effectively been built into a mindset around getting yourself the next job. And one of the things that everyone is struggling with right now is the challenge of, how do you best position yourself, to get that next job. And most of the enterprise scale contracts that exist, have really been taken up. And so I identified that as the red ocean. And the reason that I explained, and obviously Marina's kind of taken that on as part of her marketing program here, is that there is a blue ocean of opportunity for coaches in startups and SMBs, and that's why at the end of 22, I was with NASA at the time. Decided I didn't want to make a bank more money one more time, and pivoted to engaging with startups and small business, to contribute to the owners inside those companies. And I was met with wild success. In the space that coaches live inside enterprises, you really struggle to prove what kind of value you're offering on a day to day, how to make it manageable, marketable, measurable for the sponsors and executives that you're working with. But in startups, you have direct access to those owners, and you're dealing with the decision maker automatically. One of the things I require is that those owners are coachable, that they're ready for execution, that they're ready to go through what's necessary to take their company's next level. And what I found is that the impact that I was able to have was immediate. It was immediate. It was huge, and I could find numbers inside of the margins that they were working with to really cost justify the existence and the time that I was spending with those startups. You guys are in New Jersey. One of those companies that I work with is Mathnasium. They teach kids 5 to 18 years old in math skills. It's a franchise model. There's 1,000 locations nationally. By the end of the year that I spent with the owner of that franchise, a business in a box. It's not even a custom business model. He's doing $100,000 a month, and the value of his business is running between 1, 2, and 2 million out of Hoboken. Um, that's nuts. Second, started a coaching training circle for students at the University of Kiev so they could have careers and rebuild their country on the other side of the war. And the third is I'm actually coaching and partner in a master cat grooming service that we're launching out of Hoboken right now. We are a feline exclusive, woman owned, first and only master cat grooming service serving Hoboken and the New York City metro area. We're in the process of moving into a commercial space. Why am I sharing this? Because there is, from an agile coach's perspective, what I have to offer you is um, you bring your systems and ecosystem thinking to the business world, and there are tens of thousands of businesses out there in the business world. Yes, it's going to be an evolution of your ability to build skills around sales, and your ability to speak into the business needs of that owner, which is 2 points that I raise in my sales circle. But those are opportunities for you as coaches to find and build portfolios of opportunity for yourself inside this space. Um, One of the things that we're going to see as a trend in this market, in this job market, is we're going to start to see a lot more independent work. A lot of between the layoffs and the lack of opportunity, downsizing. It's going to be up to you to pivot yourself, into what a new space looks like. So what I'm, one of the responses I'm putting together is I'm building a circle and a community around career agility. And career agility is going to be, it's going to include skills around sales. You can choose whether you coach a company, join a company, or be the company. Those are going to be the options inside the community that I'm creating, and you'll get coached and trained and developed in your ability to pivot inside this job market. And so that's some of the actions that I'm taking around this job market. Wanted to share that with you guys. So
Yeah,
please reach
so
out if you have any interest in what we're up to.
yeah, I know Marina, you have a lot of in terms of programs going on right now as well, in terms of
Yeah,
helping to make that transition.
you just can find me in LinkedIn and just text me like, Marina, I need your help and let's have a call, right? And because again, each of you, you're different, right? But all of us, we need to learn how to market ourselves, how to deliver value, which we're doing, right, for others. And again, for me, even if I learn how to sell my service, right, and I'm very good in that. This is why I'm teaching others, right? But deeply inside, guys, I don't feel like I sell anything. I feel like I'm a great doctor. I want to understand their problems and I want to help them if I can. If I can't, I will tell them. But I see myself as a very good doctor, which is helping businesses with terrible disease, traditional management. I hate traditional management. I left my corporate world because I had stupidest boss in the world. And how many of us we lost our job because of stupid boss, right? And in my case, I believe that we're very good doctors. All of you, you helped developers and IT teams for last 20 years. Right now, it's time for you to help others, right? They need you 100%.
So I have a question based upon your experience and based upon what you've seen. Um, what I know is that it takes time to build the business, right? How long before it gets to the point as you're building this business, as you're building this connections and everything like that? How long would you say it takes to get to a point where it starts to become profitable enough to survive?
Guys, I will tell you this. Depends, like for sure it's a business, right? And
Mhm.
it depends of your financial goals, right? If my goal to have $1 million business, right? It will take at least 2 years to be there, right?
Mhm.
But do you remember my story that when I just needed to survive, right? And I sold first time for $5,000 for one conversation, right? And then the second dentist, right, I sold for 1 week, right? It was $10,000. And then I sold another something for $10,000, right? And I realized that, hey, I can survive, but I want to have predictable um, sales income, right? For example, now I'm selling the end of May and June right now, right? I'm always selling. If I stop, my income will stop as well, right? But Ken, to come back to your question, I think if you have a fully commitment inside, and do you remember my metaphor, right? To burn your boat, right? And just, okay, this is what I'm going to do. That's it, right? And be real as an entrepreneur. Uh, Entrepreneurs, they're crazy, right? They believe in their idea if nobody even believe around them, right? But they don't have another choice only to be successful. With this attitude, you will be successful. But if you try to do it a little, right, just a little and see what's happened, you'll have a little, right? That's why, for sure, I would say if you have zero sales experience, if you never work for yourself, I would say first 6 months will be challenging for you, 100%. That's why if you have a wife or husband who can support you or a savings for 6 months, it would be wonderful. Or I have one a great agile coach. You all of you, many of you, you know his name. He wrote a book, right? And pretty well-known book. He's driving Uber right now, right? And learning how to sell outside of IT. And he's okay with that, right? That's why to have some stable income for 6 months while you're learning how to sell, 6 months, it will be like long period. If you never had any experience in sales.
Hey, John.
John, you're muted.
So Ken, I'll look to answer your question. Spent a number of years in sales myself, and the first year, 80% of everything that you see here, well, actually, really 100% of everything you see here is going to be new. The second year, about 50%. The third year, maybe 20. It takes a solid 3 years to get yourself to a point where you haven't seen certain scenarios that you're going to see in sales, that you're able to respond with a certain level of expertise. It takes 10 years to become an expert in anything. So, developing your sales skills and be clear that sales is not marketing, right? So content generation, things that you're going to do on LinkedIn, those are marketing. Sales is a relationship experience. It's something that you have to talk through. You need to be able to connect and qualify and negotiate and close on contracts. Those are the steps you're going to need to take in sales. It's really not about what a marketing program looks like. So I just wanted to add that to your answer.
Yeah, it's a very good point. I have a group right now. We are finishing our education with them. And after 3 weeks, two students, they sold for $2,000. One sold for 2.5 and another sold for $2,000, right? And they just did exactly what I do usually, right? And they sold it, but they had commitment to sell. They wanted to sell, right? And everything is possible. It depends of your needs, your desire, right? And it can be very fast. But to build stable business, it's for sure about 6 months. But again, never stop sell, never stop develop yourself. I'm still learning how to sell. Today, I was testing new hypothesis. I came to many people around me and I asked them, "What is your top 3 challenges with AI implementation?" And it was a very specific question, right? And when they told me about their problems, I like, wow, this is interesting. I can help you. And they almost like, Marina, please help me. And I was like, really? They need me. Wow, this is cool.
And it
Okay?
sounds like a lot of this is about listening first. Like I think you said it, right? It's
Listening.
got to be listening first.
Yeah, and listening and be as a doctor. Like when
Mhm.
you go, doctors, they listen in the beginning before they will give any prescription, right? Why we should be different, why we need to give them solution without even understanding what's happening with your patient. It's never happened, right? It will be strange doctor, like, hey, don't tell me anything, I know exactly what you need. You need Scrum, or no, you will need DevOps today. Really? Why? Right? And before we will go to next question, if you have any questions, guys, I have a question for you, and please use chat from 1 to 10. How valuable this session was for you, and what is your main takeaway? Maybe several, because feedback is important, right? From 1 to 10, how valuable was this meeting for you, and what is your main value or takeaway? And learn to sell. Persistence is the key. No, thank you for your feedback, guys. I'm happy. I'm happy to support our community. Wow. 10. Don't spoil me. Give me a 9. Say, Marina, you need to improve something. No, you made my night today. Okay.
I think you had,
Danny.
let's do one more question because I know, Marina, you have to take
Yeah.
off and get some food. So,
Yeah.
Danielle, you were next. Go ahead.
Thanks. It's not really a question. It was just an observation that just kind of a little light bulb that went off in the last minute or so, which is the Agile principle that it's customer collaboration over contract negotiation. And that's what it seems like this really is all about. If you can keep working with your client, prove that you can deliver, and also working software over comprehensive documentation, just continue to show them that you are solving problems, you're continuing to solve problems, that it just helps continue to build that relationship with them.
This is wonderful. This is who we are, right? This is exactly what we do. This is exactly what we believe in, right? This is wonderful. Okay.
You have time for one more, Marina, or
Yeah.
not? Okay,
Last
one
one. Let's do last
last
one
one,
because I
Anthony.
need to eat something.
Last
I
one, Anthony. I don't want
yeah.
it to collapse. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
no, I think what was just mentioned is a good point. So, yeah, that's the mindset from an agile perspective, customer collaboration. But that's applied to sales, right? Sales starts with the first email, like that mindset, the building of the relationship, and negotiation process can be very collaborative and mutually beneficial, and it's a give and take pull. So you're applying that same approach to the contracting, most importantly, the contracting, right?
Yep. Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
my 2 cents.
Yeah, but again, I do believe that I am agile, right? And my mistake was that I wasn't agile very much. I didn't want to adapt for reality that no one want to hire agile in sales expert anymore, right? And it was very expensive mistake because I burned all my money by this crazy idea. No, I will sell, right? And I wasn't agile. I didn't adapt. It took for a while, right? That's why I think we should run as an example for industry, for clients, right? And be agile and be adaptive and learn something new and be open for experiments, testing hypothesis. Sales, it's hypothesis, right? It's my hypothesis that I will sell. I mean, it doesn't work, it's okay. I will learn. What did I learn? Okay, this what I learned. Next time I will be better. Okay, yeah, let's do it. And again, I think we made a choice to be an agile coaches because we want to serve people, right? And believe me, guys, they really need us. This is why I really go from one agile meetup to another meetup to explain, guys, stop crying. Stop apply for a job and and have 700 other resume in 24 hours. Like just do something different, right? Just stop it. Don't have my mistakes. Adapt. It's time to adapt, learn AI and go outside of IT, explore this blue ocean, learn new skills, because the best version of ourselves is existing outside of our resistance, right? Outside of our resistance, we have the best version of ourselves, right? That's why we have to go through this resistance and learn something new and adapt for reality. The reality is that I do believe that this market which we had 5 years ago with agile in agile industry never come back, never. And I know that many agile coaches they're still waiting. Oh, soon market will be better. No, stop waiting. Go and adapt and learn new skills. And AI is must-have skill for all of us because how we're going to survive, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm happy. I'm happy you gave me 10 and 9. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Ken, for inviting me. We had a lot of fun working with Ken together. It was wonderful. He's a part of our Sway Academy. He was our student, and I really appreciate to be here with you guys. Hopefully, I inspired you to go and help businesses because they need you. Okay.
Yeah, Marina, thank you. Thank you so much for everything that you did here in this session. And thank you personally for everything that you've done with and for me. I'm really appreciative of it. So, really glad to have you here to have this really important conversation. So, thanks so much. So just a note for everybody else, again, our next session, we've got lightning talks that are going to be 4 weeks from tonight, I guess it is, right? Because it's February, so that'll be March 26th. If you're interested in doing lightning talks, please reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you, and I hope everybody enjoys their night. Be well. Take care.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone. Bye.
Bye.